Uh,
I
yeah,
wanted you to, yeah, I just wanted you to tell it like it is.
yeah. So for me, this has been going on since about the second half of 2020.
Yeah.
So going on 3 years now that it's been happening. And for me in the beginning, I think it was just like, kind of flattering, like what? Like, people
Yeah. They
using,
all say that, yeah.
yeah, using my pictures. But I think that after a while of it happening, it's kind of like it really it really sucks and it tarnishes your name after a while because so many
I
people
think
really believe it.
it's the biggest intrusion that you can have into your life because,
Yeah.
in everything in life, Alice, you can do something about everything in life. If you don't like something, you change it.
Yeah.
But with this, you can't because you're so helpless to
Yeah.
actually stop it and do something about it.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing because you think like, okay, this is maybe one or two people. I can stop this.
Yes.
Let me report it. Facebook will do what they need to do. Instagram will do what they need to do,
Yeah, of course.
and it's going to be done. And then you realize that it's a lot bigger than that, you know?
People don't realize how big it is. This is it. I mean, many people think, if we get somebody, they'll say, like, well, he's going under the, if you talk to somebody who uses you, they'll
Yeah.
say things like, he's going by the name of so and so now, as if it's one person
Yeah.
using your
Right.
pictures, but of course it isn't, it's lots
Yeah. It has to be a lot of
because of the
people.
number that's out there. So,
Yeah.
you know. So, how about women contacting you?
So a lot of women that have been scammed through this thing, because I don't think it's been any men, but it's always, a woman, maybe once a week, twice a week, will contact me either on Facebook, on TikTok, or Instagram. And they'll say, some people, it's very simple message. Hey, this
Yeah,
person has
yeah,
been using your pictures. I'm just letting you know.
yeah.
But, some of them are a little bit more in depth because they'll say, hey, like I've built an entire life around you for the past four
Yeah,
or 5 months. We were supposed to move in together. I've sent you thousands of dollars,
I know. Would you really? I mean,
So,
honestly,
um,
would you move? Even if you've been talking to somebody for a few months, it's like I wouldn't plan to move in with somebody that I'd never met.
yeah, exactly. But I feel like, especially, I was, after a while, I became intrigued, asking them a lot of the details of the stories that these men give. And, I know that they pull on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
And a part of that is they utilize the stuff that I put out there. Like the fact
Oh,
that I had
yeah.
daughters and the fact that I'm in the military, they can utilize those things and make an entire story,
Of
and
course,
it pulls on the heartstrings on these
it is because,
women.
they've got motherless girls,
Yeah.
and you are looking for love, and you're looking for a replacement mother for your daughters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, that pulls at the nurturing, I suppose, nature of women.
Yeah. And that's the only thing that I can think of because I tell this to some of my friends and they would say like, "What? Like why would they do something like this?"
Yeah.
And I mean, some of these women don't get this attention or don't get this the amount of love that these individuals will give them
Yeah.
because it's constant. Because it may not just be one person that's replying. It may be 10 people using that one account and making sure that, hey, every time this person messages, we're
And
right on it. We're
yeah.
making contact right back. And a lot of people don't get that
And
on
we
a daily
know the work
basis.
shifts. I mean, we know that they're scamming from Hawaii to New Zealand, so we know the working shifts.
Yeah.
So they can actually scam an unlimited number of women
Hmm.
at the same time. I mean, it's easy for them because half the time they're using copy and paste anyway. They don't even have to,
Yeah.
write out a text.
No, exactly. Their intro could, very well fit a lot of women. Just, oh my God, like I saw your profile, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to get to know you more. Something very general and basic. Um, I would say when things for me started taking a turn where it was like, okay, I need to do a little bit more. I know I reached out to you guys to try to get some accounts taken down, but I have, like I said, I have two daughters, and my exes have, contacted me and was like, hey, look, like I'm trying to find you on social media, and I can't even find you, and these are people I know, and they're like, there's this person with our daughters on here. It's this
That's
person
the,
with, so
I mean, I don't like them using you guys. I really don't. I think it's awful. But I think there is no, I just hate them using kids. I really hate them using kids
yeah,
because it's low. You know, when you've got to sort of use the kids as well, it's like having bait, isn't it? It's like going fishing with a bait to
yeah,
see what you can catch.
yeah, and that's how they get them really because like, oh, okay, this guy has kids, like, and you
Yeah.
can see that I'm in the military, so some of their um the things that they say are going to be believable. Like, oh, well, yeah, of course, he's in the military. He could be in Syria right now. He probably does need a little bit of money because his unit
Mm.
is in a disarray or something. And
And
people
and
who
they,
haven't been around the military, they don't know that nobody in the military would ever ask you for a handout or money.
but the thing is, Al, I know they don't know the military. I get that. And
Yeah,
I understand that completely. But some of the things that's asked for money is just nonsensical. It's just, you look
yeah,
at it and think, do you really think he's going to be locked up because he's lost his weapon?
yeah,
You know, and have to pay for, I'm going to
yeah.
be locked
That's
up 24. And I'm thinking, no, you
I
know,
haven't even heard that one. That's
oh
a
yeah,
that's a
the
different one.
common one. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
these reasons go round and round. The
yeah,
moment we have, lost the weapon or lost the ammunition, so you have to pay for
mm,
ridiculous. But
yeah,
if you're invested in the scam,
yeah,
if you've been talking to them for a while
yeah,
and they've got them to care for your pictures, I don't want to get them into any trouble, and so they'll pay.
yeah, yeah.
Do you get accused of it being you?
So I have gotten accused of it being me, which I have openly with anybody who's sent me any type of message like that. I will always I'm like, hey, look, FaceTime me right now.
Yeah,
It's 2023. This has happened 2022, 2021, whatever. I'll FaceTime anybody. Because for me, I would rather prove to you, like you've probably been talking to this guy for months and he's never FaceTimed you. He couldn't have because it wouldn't be me.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I can clear this up in 15 seconds. So I've been accused like I can't believe we were talking for so long and you just stopped talking to me or something, and I'm like I've never talked to
Yeah, I
you a
don't know
day
who
in my
you are.
life. I have no idea who you are.
Yeah,
Um, I would say the most surprising thing though that I have seen was the fake passports. Fake
yeah,
passports, fake military ID,
and fake driving license as well.
fake driver's license, and I was thinking like this is probably how they are trying to verify their account. And I don't know what Facebook or Instagram does to try to verify account, but I was like some of them. I mean, like this fake passport, like they sent it to me, and I was like if I didn't know any better, like this looks like a legitimate passport if they don't actually run the numbers and the expiration date and
Yeah,
things like that.
they are getting better at that. And what sort of got me was when I got my Facebook one verified because it kept getting warnings and things. I didn't want to lose it.
Yeah,
It took about 10 seconds to verify it. I sent
yeah.
I sent a copy of my passport, and that was it. It was a blue tick. Thought they'll
Hmm.
accept me for anything these days, and I thought, no,
Yeah,
they haven't looked into that very closely. I mean, okay, it was a
yeah,
real passport, but I
yeah,
would have preferred a little bit more looking into it than that.
yeah. When they do the verification, like if the verification, I would say, because like if you sign up for like a Bitcoin or something like that, a Bitcoin account, I mean, the verification takes a good long time, like
Yeah,
24, 48 hours.
yeah,
And if something like that happened, then you know
yeah.
that it's a
That's what.
real person actually looking at this. Let me verify this or run this through a system. But if it only takes, 10, 15 minutes, then It's the
It was,
computer that's doing it.
it was absolutely seconds because I sent it and I thought, I just more or less came off thinking, it was going to be some time. And there it
Yeah,
was, the blue tick. I thought, oh, I would like you to look to see that it's me a bit more than that. So that
yeah,
does worry me. And I know meta systems are useless. So
yeah.
can't
It's
find
true.
Al, if they can't find fake accounts of you and all the
Yeah.
other guys used the and it's not difficult, is it? It shouldn't be difficult.
No, yeah, not at all. I think the weirdest thing is I because I know that when you initially report somebody for pretending to be you, it's a computer that
Yeah.
determines whether, hey, is this a fake account of this person or is it not? And then sometimes it'll say, this is a fake account, this account has been removed. And then sometimes it'll say, no, this account does not go against our guidelines, we didn't remove it. And then that's usually when I contact you guys, like, all right, well, Instagram isn't doing that thing. Like, let me send it to you guys. Let me do I'll do not an amendment, like an appeal. So I'll appeal to them so that they can try to get a human to actually look at it, and then take it down. But I think I got a lot of them taken down, but
Yeah,
they're just popping up out of
Joe's
nowhere.
just said there, loads on TikTok using your pictures.
Yeah.
And TikTok is just untouchable. We've got 7 fake Scam Haters United on TikTok.
Okay.
Same words, same logo, everything, just with a
Yeah.
tiny little difference in the title.
Yeah.
And Joe reports them often, and we get the thing back. They don't say anything wrong with them. They're copying us.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
TikTok's just vile. It just
Yeah. Honestly, everything that I've reported on TikTok, I don't think I've ever gotten a response back. I don't think I've ever gotten a response back of, hey, we didn't remove it. Hey, we did remove it. They've
yeah.
never responded. TikTok doesn't care.
No, not at all. We have had 2 removed. This is our 3rd one on TikTok. So we're hoping we seem to have been here a while now on TikTok. I don't like TikTok, does all the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so this is why, we really wanted to talk to you, to just get over the fact that this is you. Because,
Yeah.
without being funny, they will do phone calls, they will do voice calls.
Yes.
Of course, they
Yeah.
sound nothing like you at all.
Yeah.
And people accept any excuse of why they don't sound like you.
Yeah, and I think that's the craziest part is that because some people are like, well, why are they using you? Why are they using you? And I'm like, well, I think that I'm an easy target because yes, my family is like foreign. My family is from Barbados.
Yeah.
I was not born in Barbados. I was born in the States, which
Yeah.
is why I don't have an accent. But if you look at me and you could probably be like, okay, well, he has like a foreign flag in his profile, and maybe
Yeah.
he could sound like this Nigerian
Yeah. Oh,
scammer person or whatever, And even when they do like because what they do, is like, oh, I'll video call you, and it'll be like real quick, but like he's
yeah.
like way back here,
Yeah.
and he's
But also,
really dark.
they will play a video of you. The
Oh yeah.
proper full face video of you, but it lasts
Mhm.
5 seconds. And oh
Mhm.
dear, it's bad deception. But
Yeah.
then what we get is, it was him, I saw him move.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah, be a little bit more demanding than
Yeah.
just seeing him move.
Yeah.
Because these little tricks, they're working for them.
Yeah.
Which is madness,
Yeah. I think that I know when it happens to somebody, of course they learn or they should learn, and they'll be more skeptical in the future. But I mean, just putting out the information, like some people are just like, oh yeah, I knew it was fake, like in the first 5 minutes. And then some people, I mean, they go on for so long and like, oh yeah, I saw your account, but he said that this was also his account, but it got hacked, so you were the hacker. And I was like, but he's
Yeah,
posting stuff that I already had on my page, or I've just posted this, I don't know.
yeah, but the best one, Al, is your ex is in your Instagram account controlling it. You're not. So that's why
So
you contact women from other accounts.
they're saying that what?
They're saying that because we always say to people, but he's not contacting from his main account, so the account that you're on. So they're saying, oh,
Yeah.
well, so the scammers are saying, well, we can't contact you from that one because my ex controls that one and I can't get. So
Oh,
I've
yeah,
made other
that's a good one.
talk to people, and
Uh,
we try and say to people, it don't work like that.
yeah. And I would tell people because I do this. Honestly, I know that I run into scammers just in my daily life, just being on Instagram and people messaging me about things. And the first thing I do is look at their account. You can go into the top right and say, "Hey, about this account." You can see when it was made. You can see how many usernames they've had,
Yeah, that's a big thing.
and
It's a really good thing.
a lot of people don't even know that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you've had 7 usernames in the past 5 months.
Yeah.
That's really weird. And your account was made 5 months ago. So how do you, have this following or these things?
Yeah, I do particularly like the ones where they forget to take the Nigeria out. I
Oh
really do.
yeah.
They make it so easy. I do like
Yeah.
ones. But
Or they'll even take a picture that I have tagged
yeah,
of my actual profile
yeah.
and they'll put it on their page and people are like, hold on a second, like let me go to this tag and
And
they'll be like, oh, yeah,
it comes to you. So
exactly, yeah.
yeah, and they've got all they've got all the little tricks off. But let's face it, Al, this is their full time job.
Yeah,
Stealing and
yeah,
lying is their full time job. So they've got time to do absolutely everything.
yeah.
You know?
And I mean, especially in a country like Nigeria, I don't know what the currency rate is or how much they're spending over there, but I mean, I would only imagine that even somebody spending $50 probably goes a really, really long way in Nigeria.
You would be shocked if you knew the amount of money that's going over there. They must be walking in dollars. They're
Yeah,
they're swimming in iPhones at the moment,
yeah,
but there is. It's not just a small amount of money out. They're getting six figures. You know, over $100,000 is not unusual,
wow,
and certainly, I mean, today I've had about three or four that's been over $20,000.
wow.
You know, and I'm impressed where these people get
Like
money.
a like $20,000 from like one person sending it to a
Yeah,
scammer?
yeah.
Wow.
Over a period of time, and
Yeah.
usually it's not very long time, but they are sending tens of thousands of dollars. You know, it's they must they must partake because it is so easy to get the money, and of course
Yeah.
it does ruin lives because they did believe, and I feel sorry for them because they believed
Yeah.
so much, and of course, you know, it gets to the end and you're not coming home to them. Nobody's coming home to them.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, I just would love to know where all the money goes to because there is so much money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what their business model looks like, but I can only imagine that these guys wake up and get on the same way that some people get up and get on TikTok and just go
Yeah.
Instagram or TikTok live every day to get their money. These people are getting up and they get on their computer or they get on their phones, and that's just how they get their money and they say whatever they have to.
So
And I mean, we're the people that have to
look,
deal with the back end of it.
there's a lady there, Lena Malcolm, lost $400,000 over 5 years. Yes, exactly. I've
Oh
never,
my goodness.
I've never even seen that much.
No, that's
Even taking a
yeah,
couple of notes off, that would be a lot for me. But
that's
that's the sort of trust that they get. And the thing is that they do not care about ruining lives. It's
no,
not just
absolutely not.
about getting a few dollars to survive. It's gone
Yeah,
way beyond that. It might have been years ago, but it's gone way beyond that. Massive big
yeah,
business now.
yeah.
But they
It's
can't do
it's
it
crazy.
without using guys like you. That's the whole thing. They can't do it
Yeah,
themselves. You
and
know.
yeah, and then I think the another one of the biggest questions that I get is, well, why don't you make your
Uh,
profile private, or why don't you stop posting pictures online? And my biggest answer to them if I actually one make my profile private or I stop posting, then these guys will continue to live my life. They will continue to live my life, and people will not be able to see that I'm actually a real person. Because if I completely go dark, then they can still use the same old pictures, the same old everything, and never
Oh,
find out who the real me is.
no, and also, why should you? Really, why should you?
Exactly. Like, this is
Why
yeah,
should
this is
you
my life.
not do something because
Yeah,
somebody might come along and steal it?
yeah,
I'm just a great believer in the personal freedom to do as you want to do without somebody coming up behind you. Oh, he's put something new on. We'll have that. Oh,
yeah.
he's
Like
put a
I
video
mean,
on. We'll have
you
that.
press two buttons and you can screenshot it. That's
Of
just the way
course.
it is right now, and it could happen to anybody. And like just because my pictures seem like it could scam somebody a little bit easier than somebody else's, like if you can post or this person can post whatever they want and not get that, like I should still be able to post and do whatever I want.
You should,
You know?
and there's no reason. It's the you're on about people going on TikTok and things like that as soon as they wake up. It's the era of social media.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, be on TikTok, be on social media, but be careful because if they take your pictures, you better not be.
Yeah.
It's what everybody does.
Yeah.
And you should not have freedom taken away from you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how I've been operating. I think I've only made my profile private a couple of times, maybe if I was going through something as far as like something personal in my life where I just needed to shut everything down.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've been pretty public and open. And I think in 2020, when things actually started happening for me as far as being, people stealing my pictures, stealing my pictures and scamming from me, it was because I started doing like sponsorships with companies for fitness clothes. So of course I was
Yeah.
posting a lot per
Yeah.
week and putting myself
Yeah.
out there, and then that's when I don't know, they found me. They
But it's
found
like,
me.
I had a chat last week with a guy called Tyler Thomas, who's Marine.
Yeah,
And he was the same. He got things to he got things from manufacturers and things like that,
yeah,
and of course you've got to be public when you talk about them. You can't say, oh well, I'll
exactly,
talk
yeah,
about these but my account's on private.
exactly, yeah. It doesn't make any sense at all, right?
I did have a
Yeah.
look at your gaming account and I can't make head nor tail of that one.
Oh, my gaming account?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because my son and grandson are heavily into gaming things, and
yeah.
I've been to visit them and I've sat there and watched them and I'm thinking, just goes up completely.
Yeah, that was another reason. Like I think that kind of helped me out when I was starting to model or do these things for these fitness companies. And they're like, hey, like we like that you do fitness, but you also game.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like how they kind of marketed me a little bit. But yeah, I haven't posted anything to my gaming channel in a while. I think I was about to start here not too long, but yeah, I game every now and then. Fortnite, Destiny, Call of Duty, things like that.
Yeah,
So
it's Call of Duty that my son and grandson are into, and I just pretend to be interested when I go and see them, and can't work. I would last about 1 minute. And
yeah.
I could never even work out Minecraft, so I would be like Call of Duty. But no, you should be able to. So
Yeah.
why we want to do these? Why we use these live chats quite a lot because we can prove it's you.
Yeah.
We can say it's you. This is how he sounds. This is how he looks. He does not call anybody baby. He does not call anybody
No.
funny.
Yeah, it's
Every
so
time I say that to somebody, they laugh just like that.
it's because it's so funny because I would you would think you would think now that when somebody does that, because they do it really early, like it's the first or second message, like,
Yeah.
oh baby, you're so beautiful, you're the sunshine of my life, just over the top. It's a copy and paste, like you said. And it's just so unrealistic because I mean when you first meet somebody or you don't know them, that's not the type of things that you say. And
No.
I think the biggest giveaway for a Nigerian scammer is instead of saying I'm, like I apostrophe am, they say am. And I'm like,
I'm
man,
real.
if somebody wrote me and said am instead of I'm
Yeah,
you
I'm
gotta
real.
go.
I'm real. Jules just said there that just tell people that you're not deployed and being starved because they do ask for food because The US military
Yeah.
doesn't feed you.
That is the man. That is
Yeah,
probably the biggest misconception. Like I would say, if there's now, we have a hard time in the military sometimes. We have a hard time. But one thing that you can usually depend on is that you will get paid
yeah,
and you will get fed.
yeah,
Everything outside of that, you might be up for 24, 48 hours sometimes,
yeah,
but you're going to get paid and you're going to get fed. So at no point in time are they ever going to say, you're not going to get food today. Or even, I hear a lot of the beginning of them asking for money is, I can't eat this food here, or this
yeah.
isn't the type of food I can eat. I need to go off base to get food. And I need money to get a pass to go off base or something like that. And I'm like, no, because even like the military will even accommodate religious beliefs
They do.
and make sure that, hey, if you can't eat this food that we're providing you, we'll make sure that we have some food on
Yeah,
the
as I'm
table.
fond of saying with others, my son's vegetarian. He's in, he's in the Navy. So, it's often a bit of a joke with him. Or it used to be, I suppose many more people might be now. But,
Yeah,
it's always a bit of a joke with him. Oh, he's got to be different. He's got, we've got a special food in for him
yeah,
on the submarine, and things like that. And the Navy, the military, are very, very good. They will cater for everything.
yeah.
You say religious, but there is food. There is, I mean,
It's always gonna be food, and I think then right after food is usually okay. My phone is broken, so that's why I can't video you. And
2023,
then
nobody's phone's broken.
yeah,
Nobody's
yeah,
camera's broken on the phone.
nobody's camera is broken, but then it's, oh, I need to get it fixed, so I have to go off base again to get it fixed. They can't get it fixed on post, and it's gonna cost this much. If you want to FaceTime me, then you have to pay me this much, and then I can go and get it fixed.
Yeah,
I'm just like, man, that's where I would. That's where I'm out. I mean, I would leave. Just me, just thinking about it. There's not a
yeah.
person that would convince me that they need to get their phone fixed.
There's not a
They need
person that
to.
can convince me to send them any money, but that's just.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a big one.
yeah, it always gets
Um,
me though because if the army aren't feeding you very well on camp,
yeah,
that they
yeah,
think like a few tents, like
yeah,
that you would with little pop-up tents that you would go camping with. If the
mm,
army aren't feeding you and they ask for money for food, or as you said, they're going to have to go off and get where they're going to go because I've seen some stories that it was terrible last night, dear. We went
yeah,
out on patrol and we lost 3 men and it was terrible. But send me
yeah.
some money and I'll go down the local chicken shop for something. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's because one, if you were in a situation like that, you probably are not thinking about food, but even still, like I'm telling you, like in the very, 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 very worst conditions that I've ever been in, there's a box. It contains these things called MREs, and even if you pick the very worst one, it has something in there for you to eat, and you'll be fine. I've just never been in a situation where I've completely not been able to eat in the military, and that's
no,
crazy.
no. I did. It's one of the excuses I never get, but it works for them, so they use it. But yeah, as Anne Marie says, they send pics of sort of like soldiers on the ground with arms hanging off and things like that, and you can
And
Google them all.
and
I've
that's
never
and
come
that's the
across them
craziest. That's the craziest thing.
because we know that if you were away somewhere in that sort of situation, the last thing you could do, but the last thing you would do, was
Just
send a
take a
picture.
picture.
Oh,
Just take a picture.
here's my best friend. He's dying.
Yeah.
And
Um,
it's sick.
the two deployments that I've been in, when I even like, 'cause I did Iraq for 6 months. I have one picture from Iraq, and it's just me by myself, and it's just me. That's it. And then my second deployment, I think again it was another picture of just me. One picture. I did 10 months out there, and it
This
was
is
just
different.
me.
Yeah.
This is not I don't know. At least how I was when I was on deployment, I was not worried about a phone. I was not worried about, this. Like you're there to do like a job. It's not something that
I will
you're
tell you a
worried
funny
about.
story, and I had to laugh at this one. It was the other week, and it was somebody. Well, they weren't using you, but they were using somebody else, and he needed money to get back from Turkey because he'd lost his wallet, and the army had pulled out of Turkey, and they'd left him because he lost his wallet.
Oh
You
man.
want to shake people and think, no, that would never happen.
Yeah.
You know, he
But
might be called an idiot, but they would take him with them.
yeah. I think that too, like some people's only introduction or like the way that they see the military is through television or through movies, and something
Yeah,
like that might happen if you watch a funny version of a military movie, or
yeah,
something crazy like, oh my god, like I can't believe this happened and we left him and he has to find his way back home. Like
yeah.
that's not a
You know,
thing. Yeah.
because people do watch too many movies, so there are too many plots. And they think, and I've got, in defense of the victims, I've got to say, they get a good morning first thing in the morning and some wonderful romance. They get a good night last thing at night, dream of me, my angel. And they get constant texts all day.
Yeah.
And it keeps, it's control. It is absolute.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think that's the texting fast in 2023 is a huge thing. When somebody sends you a message, and for somebody to send you a message right back, and it's very flattering, it's
Yeah,
complimenting, it's telling you everything that you want to hear because you've not gotten this. A lot of these women that fall for these things have not gotten this for years, and um,
yeah.
you don't want to believe it, but then you do believe it, and then you're just like, well, no, there's no way this guy could keep up with me in this way or talk to other women this way because he's talking to me so much. But really, it's not just that one person, you're not thinking that.
No, it's just
So
a room full of people. And
yeah,
it's, they know exactly what they're doing. And, what's the attention aspect of it all?
yeah.
It's
I mean,
constant, Mike. They've got to do it. And they've got to do. I'm sorry about the bird.
it's fine.
I thought he was asleep.
That's a, it's a. I didn't even know it. I didn't even see the bird actually. Okay,
He's in the back there.
no cage. It's just sitting on the chair.
He's
Okay.
flying around because he gets worried when I
Yeah.
talk to the iPad. He thinks I'm going mad.
Mm.
But no, thank you. Thank you, Alistair. It's Mike, I don't know where you are. If you're in America, it's parakeet.
No,
And if
this
you're in
is
the UK,
yeah.
it's a budgie.
Okay. Yeah, he's that's my best friend in this
Right.
entire world right now.
Well,
He's in Texas.
it's a parakeet then, because you call
Yeah.
them, we call them budgerigars. And
Okay.
Pinder's quite well known here. Come on, baby. Pinder's quite well known here. He is usually always around. But yeah, when I talk to the iPad, he thinks I'm going mad. But no, thank you, because we do find to get the real person over just really helps.
Yeah, and
Because
I'm always willing to help out in situations like this.
it is a mad world. It's a world that when you first come across it, like, when you first found out you were used,
Yeah.
it's really, really hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's really hard to believe, and then to believe that it's lasted so long and it's still going on.
And it's still going on. And I would say the crazy thing, because yes, it's crazy that it happens to some women, and some of the stories are very troubling. Especially like I had a woman that it was not just her, but her and her daughter. The guy was messaging her and her daughter, and they both were on the phone with me crying. That's probably like one of the worst stories that I have. But um, to
Because,
just
yeah, you
it's
can't do anything about it. And that's what
yeah.
very often we know they come to you because they want you to do something about it.
Yeah, and there's nothing that I can do. I mean, there's like, hey, look, like I've I'm supposed to marry you. So we were looking at apartments. We're looking at apartments. I'm supposed to, that's the one that I would say like stuck with me the most was when it was the woman and her daughter, her 14-year-old daughter, and she was just like, hey, like I'm supposed to be picking you up from the airport tomorrow, and I guess he canceled the first ticket, which she had already sent him about 500 for, and then he had to rebook, and it cost more, and she sent him another 1,000, and I was just like, oh my goodness, and then at that point, she was like, he stopped messaging, and then she reached out to me, and then I was like, yeah, that's not me, it's not me.
They do
So
send money multiple times for the same thing.
yeah,
If but well, let's get this straight now. The army takes you anywhere you go.
absolutely.
Army brings you back.
The army takes you anywhere you go, and we actually every single service member has a government travel card. So we have a government travel card. They literally give us a credit card. If we are somewhere, let's say we are somewhere stranded and we have to get somewhere, you have a phone number that you can call and you have a card that you can use up to at the very most $10,000.
So
And
never,
you
ever,
can
ever, yeah,
no, and
never.
this has actually happened to me before because I was sent home on emergency leave from Iraq and I had to get back. And they were like, "Oh, how's he going to get back?" And they're like, "Well, we don't have military flight for him, but he can take commercial. Go to
Yeah,
the airport. Hey, just buy this ticket, get on this thing, whatever." And I think it costs almost $3,000. And they were like, "Hey, take this flight to Kuwait, and then we'll pick you up from there. We'll make sure that we get you from there." And you literally, like I said, you literally have a card that you keep on you, and you're able to use that card. If you don't have any other means, you have that card, and you can use this card for food. You can use this card for hotels. You can use it for rental cars. You can use it for flights.
anything,
Anything.
absolutely everything.
So that's I don't know,
I love
like
that.
physical money. Like, it's like if somebody's like, "Oh, I don't have a debit card. I don't have that." If you send somebody money on Cash App or PayPal, how
Yeah,
then are they gonna get that money to pay for the food that they want? They can't
that's,
unless they have a physical card or it's on their phone or something. So
yeah.
it doesn't even make sense to send somebody money and they're saying that they don't have a way to pay for it. It doesn't make any sense. Because how are they going to pay for it if you just send it to them?
It doesn't make sense. And as I said before, who's in the mood? If you don't have the money for food, where are you going to get the money from? As you say, you're going to go to a local ATM and then go to
Yeah,
my
and even with
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
and even with that card, you're able to go to the ATM with this card up to a certain amount. I think like whatever country you're in, the equivalency of like $500, you can just go to an ATM and pull that money out if you really needed the cash. You know,
I,
so
I, I know
it's
how embassies work. I know how they never ever let anybody, you know.
oh yeah, the embassies are amazing for active duty. If you're active duty or you're deployed, if you go to the embassy, they're gonna get you situated 100%.
They do. They do.
So
So
yeah,
thank you very much.
of
You've taught me a
course,
lot tonight as well, which is really good. But yeah,
yeah,
thank you. I appreciate it.
of course,
And
anything.
how much? I'm not saying where you are, but how much longer are you over where you are now?
So I've been in Germany now for about a year and a
Yeah, I
half.
wasn't going to say that, was it?
Huh?
I was really being quite secretive about where you are, and you say, "Oh, I've been in
No,
Germany."
it's no. It's fine. I mean, Germany is it's really safe out here. My location isn't something that is like top secret or anything. It's a regular base out here. Anybody could come out here and visit or see. Like, it's a regular city. Stuttgart is an amazing city. That's my second time being out here. But yeah, I'm in Stuttgart, Germany right now. I've been out here for about a year and a half. I got a year and a half left.
Oh goodness.
But I'm actually looking at about I might extend. I actually love living overseas. I think I've actually lived overseas while I've been in the military longer than I've actually been living in the States.
Yeah, it is a
So
beautiful. It's a beautiful area where you
yeah,
are.
yeah, I love Germany. Before here, I was living in South Korea for 2 years. So amazing places, amazing places.
Yeah, it's like my son. He's been in the Netherlands and Ethiopia, and he's going to Kuwait next year. So he also
It's
likes.
hot. It's hot out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm going to visit December because apparently
Yeah,
that's the only time that it gets a little bit.
yeah. It gets it's a little nippy. The desert gets a little nippy in December,
But I'm looking
but
forward
should
to it.
be, yeah.
Different. I've never been to anywhere like that, so I am looking forward to it.
No,
So
it's a good experience there.
thank you. Well, he's looking forward to it because he likes going and living in all these different
Yeah,
places. So
same.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he takes his wife with him. So
Okay, that should be
you
good.
know,
Yeah.
it's a sort of family thing that he gets to take his wife with him as well. So
Okay.
yeah, he loves it, and yeah, I like free, well, cheap holidays. So
Yeah, same.
what's not to like? So everybody's saying thank you, and I do want to say thank you as well, Al. So if we can help you, we used to be able to help an awful lot more than we can now, because we used to have a human contact at Meta.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a reporting system that goes directly into the systems at Meta. We've got a reporting form, which is brilliant. But up until the end of July, I used to, once it didn't go on the form, I would send them an email
Hmm.
direct to Meta, and they would take it down.
Yeah,
They would close them, no problem at all. We loved it.
yeah.
And then at the end of July, I got a message from them saying, "Oh, you'll just have to use the form. We're not taking any more emails from you."
Mm.
So we've got a fraud department who doesn't want to get rid of frauds, which work that one out.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
We just do what we can at this point.
so have a good evening. It's 9:15 there for you. So have a good
Yes.
evening, and
Okay.
thank you
Of
very much.
course. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.